Do, 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 do. Hey, internet friend, good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. So, what is it? It's Monday and it's 8 a.m. I'm wondering if I should start doing these like 8 a.m. news. Dun, 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 dun. So, I've been working with a coach for the last couple days. Thank you, Linda. About getting me restructured and getting what it came down to is simplification. 1, 2, 3, just like that, simple. And so what happened was I did a interview with James Twyman. He used to live here in Minneapolis. Now he lives in Mexico. He used to live down in Joshua Tree, and he's known as the Peace Troubadour. And we did this interview, and his microphone didn't work. Hey, Matt, how are you? His microphone wasn't working because he had one of these fancy-dancy Yeti microphones that are, they're not real expensive, but they're concentrated and all that. But he also had his earbud in so that he could hear what I had to say because it's a two-way communication. So what ended up happening with that is it got complicated because multiple things in there, and I couldn't really hear him because the sound wasn't going through his nice microphone. It was going through his earbud into his da-da-da-da-da. So we got to redo it. So simplification. There's a couple things I want to talk about. I like the concept of video because I think it's the best way to be known, liked, and trusted on the internet. And there's a lot of wacky stuff out there online, so I like to just put myself out there and say what I have to say. And if you know who I am and what I do, I'm in the events business. I produce the Minnesota Event Planners Expo, and part of my mission is to move the online chatter back into real-life activity. So there's so much stuff going on the internet. I'd like to bring it back home to the individuals again. So that's what I'm working my way towards with the Event Expo and doing events and using event marketing instead of all these social media robotic strategies and things that are separating people, I believe. I'm sure you've gotten these robotic robocalls coming into your phone that isn't even a real person and it's just a pain to answer it, or automated emails come pouring in. I'm an advocate of automation, but if you think about it, if you send 10,000 emails and I send 10,000 emails and all these 10,000 people are sending 10,000 emails, that's a lot of email to read in the morning. So it ends up being too much, just isn't working. But so some of the things that have been going through my head, I never thought I'd get into the political world, although I'm not a big advocate of politics where I'm on the left, I'm on the right. I'm pretty much mainstream because in my opinion, it's really not about one or the other. It ends up being because of circumstances. So as an example, if a person is pro-life or pro-choice, say they're pro-life, and they're sitting at home watching TV with their daughter, and somebody breaks in the house and points a gun at the daughter, and you have a gun next to you, you might end up changing your mind and being pro-choice and want to do something about that person about to kill your daughter. I know that's kind of drastic, but my point being that circumstances change, and I use the analogy sometimes, what's more valuable, a glass of water or a $100 bill? And that depends on if you're in the desert or not, because a glass of water is worth $100 if you're thirsty. So that's why the whole thing with politics, to me, it's like we're all about this, that, or the other thing. It ends up being, it changes with circumstances. Like, I don't study this stuff too much, but this Elizabeth Warren, supposedly she wants to take down Facebook and these rich, wealthy people and take them down or separate them, diffuse them a little bit. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. It's kind of unfair, because a person in the Olympics wins first place, it isn't fair to the other people. So you take away their medal and give everybody participation medals. That doesn't make much sense to me. I would figure out a way that person could share their wealth and knowledge and information with other people. Which leads me into this Andrew Yang guy that's got this freedom dividend universal based income concept. What that's doing is it's taking the income from large corporate, all business, all the United States economy, and then giving $1,000 a month to law-abiding, legal citizens age 18 and over, I believe that's what it is. and it puts it into the community where now we can spend this money on car repairs or lunch or going out to dinner or having fun or paying rent and that kind of thing. So it's a different approach of taking that conglomerate money and recirculating it back into the economy, as opposed to just saying, you can't make that money anymore, we're taking it away from you. So I don't like the idea of collapsing Amazon or collapsing Facebook or collapsing Google or limiting them, putting a ceiling on their wages or their ability. I would figure out a way of how to channel that money back into the local economy so that it can trickle up. Just my thoughts. I'm going to make this short. We've been on here for about 5 minutes. I don't like to take too much time because you probably got a job you have to do. You know, you got to drive to work, do that hourly wage thing. That's another situation with the dollar per hour pay scale that we're all used to, is you're only limited to how many hours you can work, and you're also limited to how much your employer will pay you. So you end up having to get another job because your rent has gone up, or your car payments are crazy, or your credit card interest has gone out of whack. Anyways, those are my thoughts. If you would, please like this video, or if you could share it somewhere, that would be wonderful. That's the deal, Glockenspiel. So I'm about to sign off. That's it. Enough. Happy Monday.